We are live. What's going on, Jennifer
Good
Lacey?
morning, Jesse. How are you?
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm recovered mostly. I finally had like a good solid night's sleep yesterday. And I was curious. I'm like, man, is Jen gonna make it today? Because she's been going hard all week. So first, Jen, you have some major celebrations to be had, and I think it would only be appropriate to celebrate with the No BS tribe. So what is it? What happened this week?
Well, we just wrapped up LCI Lean Construction Institute Congress here in Arlington, and I was co-chairing it with Keon Zandy. So lots, like a year's worth of planning just happened in like a week, and I, I mean, we broke a lot of records. We built champions. We kind of did all the things. And I'm not sure there was anything left on the table, including any of my energy or anything. Like I think my rest, my sleep, I think everything was left out there. So I feel like it was absolutely a win.
Yeah, absolutely. Big deal. Got to see some amazing people like our good friend, the King Lurker, Mr. Jim Gontorius. They had
Yes.
a great time. Time to relax. I agree. I will be on a plane here in a couple of hours and I will be relaxing. I'm kind of looking forward to sleeping in my own bed, not making my own bed, just sleeping in it. Um, and so, like that whole experience, right? I think, and you and I were talking before I hit the live button. Um, just the community, right? Reconnecting, and I'm going to be super selfish and I'm going to be real clear. I don't mean the LCI community.
Mm-hmm.
I mean the people that have spoken into my life,
Mm-hmm.
the people that allow me to contribute into theirs. That's what I mean when I say community. Sure, it's part of a broader thing, but
There's a
that's
lot of them
what,
in there, right? There's a lot of them sprinkled in that community, but this was
correct.
again that close knit people we've seen on screen a lot, repetition, and then we get to see them in person. Yes.
Yes. So there's overlap, and that's what has informed today's conversation about
Yes.
like how to build your community. And so for all the folks out there in the omniverse, leave your cheat codes, your experience, your foibles and follies, so that other folks can kind of pick up on those cheat codes. Because I know for me personally, my mental health, my sobriety is 100% a function of community, right? Which meant I had to get out of myself and start like appreciating other human beings. And nowadays, community is talked about in terms of like monetization and making money, and I get it because guess what? I do that too. But what I really want to do with the tribe today is like zoom in and scope into how do I build my own personal community and like the massive impacts that can have on us and our industry and our family, et cetera, because I don't think it's that difficult. And I think rather I know, and you and I, when we started these live streams 4 years ago, we weren't like, let's build a community. We just
Yes.
kind of happened. And there's some things that if we did it on purpose, which I'm doing now, my quality of life is like, I mean, exploded. Like there's times, girl, when I'm leaving a place, I'm like, how did this happen? Like,
Yes.
I don't belong with how did this happen? Bottom line. So before we jump into that, we got some housekeeping, Jen. Would you mind letting me know?
Absolutely. So if anybody's out there, okay, and maybe we're going into some different feeds today because of some people we connected with this week. So if you're out there and you see our faces jumping around the screen, our ask of you is some of you are new. You're not sure what you just walked into. Some of you follow us, but you just kind of sit in the background and watch and listen, which we appreciate you so much. And then some of you have been here for a while. So if you are new to us and you've not commented and engaged in any of our conversations up until now, we ask that you just put a blue heart. That way, a little bit of a toe in the water commitment. You don't really have to do a whole lot. But that kind of signals to us that you're new and that we want to connect with you and recognize you. But also it signals to our tribe, our No BS tribe, that we got a new person that's kind of starting to look and see what's going on in here. And then they'll connect with you. And so that way they can follow your content, we can engage. And then we would love if, as the conversation's going, something kind of sparks in your head, or you had an idea or something that's happened to you, for you to share that also, because then that helps us with our conversations.
100%. And when you do comment and drop the blue heart, that gets your name into the randomizer.
Yes.
And so what is the randomizer? So at the top of the hour, we will do the little raffle-y thing. Click. I'm having some glitchy stuff. So folks out there in the Omniverse, if you got some glitchiness going on, I don't know if it's a LinkedIn thing, but I got some stuff happening. Anyways, give us a heads up. Let us know. I know I'm assuming YouTube is probably not having a problem. That's typically the thing. So
we're also, yes, right? So you'll find us there.
Anyhow, but when you drop your name, leave a comment, question, objection, all of the above in the comments. It's going to get your name thrown into the randomizer. And when we do the randomizer thing, you will get 1 month pass to Emotional Bungee Jumpers and the Cultivation Crew. And so hopefully you guys will do that. And look at that. We got some comments, Jennifer Lacey.
Yes.
You know this guy?
I do. Good morning, Steve.
Steve Martin, the No BS chief marketeer. And then, so Jen, I know this guy that never gets tired. Do you get tired, Jen?
I mean, I do have a peak, and then it falls off. Yes. So I'm just going to own that.
We don't get tired here, Jennifer Lacey.
I mean, no, I'm saying on the inside, that's how I feel. On the outside, we don't get tired. We don't get
tired. That's
no one knows it except me.
Yes, man. I love it. All right, bear with me because I got some major funkiness going on, and it's with the randomizer.
Okay.
That's not good.
Well, either way, we'll make it work. And again, where did that come from? Why do we not get tired? Is we had some really good keynotes this week. Jesse Itzler and Chris Voss, and Jesse Itzler is an endurance runner, and he's like, man, there's times where you just have to convince your brain and tell your brain we don't get tired. You just have to keep pushing and keep pushing, because sometimes our brain can overpower our body. And so that's where that came from.
100%. And so Daddy Hoot says, okay, yeah. So YouTube, there's no problem on YouTube, folks. If LinkedIn, hell, they probably can't even see us. But if you have any problems on LinkedIn, jump on over to YouTube. It seems to be streaming just fine. All right. So today, again, how to build your community. And I left the quietly part out because I thought if I put how to build your community quietly, or how to quietly build your community, people would know, like they were like, there's no way Jesse even knows that word quietly. Like this is a flim-flammy conversation. But for real, like that's really what we want to talk about. For me, when I think about quietly building your community, it is that personal one-to-one approach in terms of building that community and expanding what that looks like. And so, Jen, here's an awesome question. And this is a question too for all you folks out there in the Omniverse. So two things. So there's this reference of a light, Jen, and I know that comes from you. So can you tell people what shining your light on somebody means while they respond in the comments to, has anyone ever noticed your light before you did? What does the light mean?
Well, it's so many things. And so I want to, I guess I want to answer it first, and then I'll go into it. Is that okay?
Yeah.
And so, and I always hate when I have to give him credit, because it just builds his ego. But I'm going to tell you, about 4.5 years ago, this knucklehead that I'm on the screen with this morning, started kind of being a little bit more in my social media. We started, just being in the same spaces, and we got on a call because he had an idea. And from that call to now, 4.5 years later, like I have to give him credit and attribute to a lot of the things that I've been able to do, even though it did take me too. But like, he saw something, he recognized it. He didn't just sit back and go, well, that's cool. He connected, and he had conversations with me, and he called some things out that I'm not sure I was either ready to own or even seeing them myself, because sometimes we're in the middle of things, we kind of get caught up, and then we only see things from one perspective because we're living it. And then you have somebody come in from the outside, or someone else that is seeing you in a different light, and says something and kind of points it out, and then you start doing things intentionally. And I know when our paths crossed 4.5 years ago, it changed my intentions. And I think for me, that was huge, because people knew me. Jesse, you knew me, even though I was just out there. I was kind of all over. So some of that light was still shining. It just wasn't intentional. And it wasn't like, okay, now I want to be intentional and I want to have 1,000 followers. And I'm like, not that intention. I don't mean like now I'm going to start setting those number goals. I was just doing it because it's kind of who I am and how I show up, but it was still kind of loosey-goosey. And I think when we connected and you called it out and you said, you're doing this and you're doing this, okay, but where do you want to go? What do you want to do? And it kind of helped me get clear on, oh, I need to do these things on purpose. And it did, it shifted, it changed kind of some of the things that I was able to see in front of me and what I could accomplish. And so that light, and just, I don't know if I'm the person that can describe it, because I feel like I'm the one here pushing it out to everyone else. But my goal, or what I try to do everywhere, is I'm in a place where I can amplify and I can elevate a lot of things because of my role, because of the things that I do. And so I try to, as much as I can, shine my light and what I do on the people out there doing so many amazing things, because they get lost. They're doing it because it's their job. They're doing it because they don't want people to brag about them. They just want, but they also need to be recognized. And so I have been super intentional. That's kind of cool. Super intentional in really finding people that are out there doing things, changing the world, impacting lives, caring about people, and like shining a light on them, elevating them, recognizing them. And I tell you all the time, when you shine your light on things, it just happens organically. That light shines back on you. And that's what I've been able to see and feel over the last 4 or 5 years.
Oh, I love it. Look at that. Hashtag.
I know, right? That's pretty cool. That happened organically.
Yeah. And so, I'm going to throw another one out there for the tribe to chew on while I kind of respond to what you just said, because that's exactly like what you described is exactly how I think I'm building my community.
Okay.
Right? But for the tribe out there, finish this sentence, because this is super, super important. It's the foundation, the basis of how I think, feel, believe, and execute on building my community. I feel most connected to others when. So think about that. Like, when do you feel most connected to other human beings? And then we'll come back to that. But in terms of what you pointed out, right? So me shining the light on you and saying, hey, I got an idea, let's do this thing. And you're like, what the hell? I think I'll say it this way. I learned this early in my sobriety, early in my recovery, or even before I started trying to get sober, was the best version of myself always existed in the eyes of the people in front of me, period. I could never see, and I still, to this day, I still doubt and question what they reflect back to me. But because they were reflecting it back to me, because they could see this better, more expansive version of me, it gave me hope. It fueled me to work towards being that, towards fulfilling whatever that was. And so that was life-saving for me. Like, it was transforming. People would tell me, y'all know out there, people give you a comment, you get a little bit shy, or you kind of deflect it away. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. It's because they see a version. Now, that's not to say that I'm like all prim and proper and pretty and perfect. I still
He's not.
Right? But what they help me see, there's this thing, because all I see in my head, it's like you ever been to like a circus or carnival where they have the hall of mirrors,
Yes.
They're like distorted and twisted. Okay. In my head, that's what I see. But what I see is all of the nasty things that I've done, all of the failures that I've had, all of the missed opportunities, all of the damaging things that I've said to people, and they're expanded and contorted. And that's what's in my head. But when I'm interacting with another human being, I can see, oh, there's also that. I'm also a good guy, right? And it helped me aspire to get to that. So fast forward, I mean, let me summarize that, come back to you. For me, it's super, super ultra important to articulate and take action on what I see, that little sliver spectrum of the human being in front of me, because I need them to know that I don't know if they have the same hall of mirrors that I have, but I absolutely need them to know how they're impacting the world, how they've impacted me, because the likelihood is they have no idea that it's actually happening. And so for me, going back to this next question, I feel most connected to others when we're having like real conversations about how you make me feel, how you make me think, how I want to serve you. That's when I feel connected. If we're talking about the freaking Spurs, I am not connected. I'm actually trying to get the hell out of the conversation, or the Cowboys or whatever. But we're talking about how I can better serve you and how I think you contribute to the world and how we can build something and contribute and serve others. That is when I feel most connected. How does that land with you, Jennifer?
Yeah. So what I heard, you said a lot, and all of it again warms my heart. What I heard you say, and I want to make sure this is what the point you were trying to make is, when you're interacting with people, when you know people, because of like your own maybe insecurities or your own way of looking at things, what you found is, because I know me, that I am going to be intentional, that when I see something or I recognize something, that I vocalize it.
Yep.
Because there's a good chance that they've never heard it before.
Yep.
And to me, like it resonates, because we're all crossing paths with so many people all the time. And Jesse, I know you and I even like, we'll be like, oh my gosh, that, or oh my gosh, this, or that person did this, or I'm so excited about this. And then it just stays between you and I, instead of, let me go and call that person out. Let me recognize them. Like this week was a really cool week, because I had a lot of people around me that were feeding and fueling everything that I was doing. Like they were building me up. They were making me feel good. And, and it was one of those where it went great. And I think when I was sending individual texts with photos that I took with people, and I was like, it was just, it made me feel good. But then the responses were even better, because they were just like, oh my gosh. And they were so appreciative of it. Yep. And they were there, they were with me. So I know they felt it, but sometimes it's just that one little extra step to like, I see you.
Yes. Just that. I see you, and I see this in you, because you need to see it. And like, it's just that. It's not about what they respond, what could happen. I just feel a responsibility to make that happen. And that's when I feel connected. And so I'm going to answer
that. But I want to give love, but I want to answer that, that in a minute.
Come on, give it.
No. I want to give love to the people. I know we got some new people, but then I'll answer it.
Got you. So we got Mr. Abbas, frequent flyer. What's up, my friend? He says, good morning, guys. And then we got Mr. Melcher.
Oh my gosh, he had so much going on this week, Brian. Like, so much love for you, for all the support and just getting to see you and hang with you this week. But he was everywhere. He had a booth, he had a session. I mean, he was giving love he was showing the love, he was seeing people and making it so intentional. And so, Brian, thank you.
Yes, and I'm going to add, like, he's an expert at saying that thing. Here's what I saw. Here's what I think. Here's how you do. Like, super, super good. And like you said, I got to sit in his innovation spotlight, the field verified innovation spotlight. It was solid. Him and I think it was Core. Freaking awesome job. You already know when you're in a session and most of the people are looking down, scribbling, that's a good sign. Yes. Right? They're all like taking notes. And so that was amazing, my brother, Mr. Brian. Then we got Steve Martin. He says, I feel most connected to others when I'm with other light shiners in a space consumed with darkness. Oh, that is interesting. Okay, fair. I like it. I like it. All right, Jennifer Lacey, what is your answer?
It's pretty simple, and so those of you that know me or have interacted with me in the same space, I'm a hugger. And if you're not a hugger, which I know there's a lot of people aren't, for whatever reason, they still hug me. So like I've got people that be like, I don't like that, I don't do that, but I just know you're gonna come to me and you're gonna be ready to hug me. So I've just accepted you're gonna hug. So I'm gonna hug you. And it's one of those where even one of some conversations I've had with people on like, hey, what's the one thing you'd like me to never stop doing? They're like, Jennifer, never stop hugging people. Like that, like it's a part of who I am. And so when I think about this, it's so simple, but I think hopefully the tribe can understand when I'm heart to heart with people. So when and sometimes it may not be physical touch, but the hugs are a huge piece of it. But like when I'm heart to heart, my heart's facing your heart. Which means it's that one-on-one. I get to see your eyes, you're looking at my eyes, we're having a conversation. You know, I feel you, you feel me. There's nothing that compares to that. And it doesn't matter the level, it doesn't matter the company, it doesn't matter who it is, where I'm at, what the location is. When I can one-on-one, almost to the point of I get pulled in too many directions because I want to give my time and my attention and my love and my care to the person in front of me.
I love it. Yes. And so again, which kind of reinforces the message that I hope people are getting out of this conversation is building your community is like a one-on-one, or rather, I'll say it this way, can be a one-on-one experience, right? And one at a time. And I kind of want to go into like Steve's comment.
Okay.
Jen, right? He says, I feel most connected to others when I'm with other light shiners in a space consumed with darkness. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, I'm going to pull it only from the industry we work in. I'm just going to start with that. So our industry, there's a lot of things that need to be better. And number one is there's a lot of people out there doing a lot of hard work, and people don't see them. So there's that. So we're just going to start with that. And people that show up every day with purpose and doing things that matter and that really impact really big things, and they're kind of invisible. It can get them in a very dark place. So there's that piece. The other piece is our industry, and I said this and I'm going to say it again, our industry leads in the rates of cardiovascular disease, substance abuse, divorce, and suicide. And so that darkness leads to all of those things.
Yes.
And if we're in a place where we have that, we already know it. I mean, we're not making this up. This is what the facts are, that our industry leads in those things. And the darkness also contributes to people that end up in those categories. How do we pull people out of that darkness? How do we help them know they're not in that darkness alone, and then help shine a light on them to where it's not dark anymore? Like each of us are in places every day that it may change a decision someone's going to make. It may help their life be a little bit better. It may make them feel like, hey, what I do matters every single day. Are we doing it?
Yes. I'm with you. Right. And it's my assertion that the lack of connection is the primary contributor to all of those stats that everybody, I'm worn out, right? I'm tired of hearing about the stats. I don't care. Okay. And I'm tired of hearing, what are we going to do about it? Whatever. I'm really focused on what the hell I'm going to do about it. And I love people that are taking action, like individually, to do something about it. And for me, it's simply, like you said, forming connection with somebody else. Because people, you know, it doesn't matter how successful, how amazing your outcomes in your work is, if you feel like you're alone in the darkness. And so community, I believe community is the medicine to this thing. And that's why we're here 4.5 damn years later doing these live streams every other Saturday.
Yes.
We're like, for real. It was an accident. We have an amazing community, right? We got Let's see. Brian says, "Yep, the hugs." So many people ended their conversation with me saying, "Hey, I'm gonna grab a hat before I go." And he said, "You said I'm gonna get a hug before I go," which is, it's a thing. It got weird a little bit, but that's okay. But my point being is this: we started the live streams, and it was based on 5S in relationships. And it was just a random dumbass idea that I had that you were open to. And what happened is people started showing up. I mean, ballers, right? People with a lot of influence, a lot of responsibility in our industry started showing up and sharing vulnerable stuff, like real human stuff. And what I saw that as the signal is like, man, you don't share this with anybody else. And you're putting it on the internet. Amazing, like, privilege to be invited into that. But I also saw it as an indicator that they don't have a space, a group of people in their like direct vicinity where they could do that. So what else are they going to do except for go out and do it on a freaking live stream where there's other people that they can connect to it or where they feel connected. And then it was like, okay, Jen, I think we have a responsibility now to continue this forward because of the connection and it's a space that we all need to heal and support each other and grow together. Am I making too much of it, Jen? What do you think?
No, I mean, it's the only reason we're still here, Jesse. Like, we had a plan as big as, we plan everything. We had a plan.
Your plan, yes.
And we wanted to, this is what we're going to do. We're going to have 6 live streams, 5 live. We have 5 live streams.
Right. Yep.
And we're going to, really just talk about an idea that you had that I thought was amazing. And so let's do this. And again, then it was people showed up and they continued to ask questions and contribute. And then it was, we added an extra one, and then we added another one. And then it was like, what's next? And that was what we got from the community. And Jesse and I looked at each other and we were just like, well, we didn't have a plan for what's next. We just had a plan for, hey, this was an idea, but like the need is what pulled it. This community and the people that were out there that were hurting for something we didn't know were pulling us into, okay, well, now it's an obligation. Now it's a responsibility of, we've opened this, we've started this. What could it be? And I think that's where we kind of started going, okay, what about this? What about this? And then Jesse said it, like, we literally launched No BS 4 years ago because of the conversations around, hey, we're just going to do this one thing. And 4 years strong, I'm still somehow putting up with him and we're still showing up.
So I want to review kind of the 2 things that we've talked about that, like, so people can have the takeaway of, like, the title says how to build your community. What the hell are y'all doing? But Mr. Jim speaking to his soul right now, because we know, right? How many of us have been in the industry carrying a burden all by Herbie? We're Herbie, right? We're carrying the freaking skillet in our backpack for so long. Actually, Thomas LeMay was the one that really, I was thinking it. And then Thomas LeMay said on one of the very first after parties, he's like, Jess, this is what we need in our industry. We're not having, and it's not like we have the answers. Nope. We're just having the conversation about being a freaking messy ass human being in this business in this life and whatever it is. But it gave everybody a place to come together and connect. So rehash or distillation, at least in my playbook of building, how to quietly build a community. Number 1 for me is point at what I see.
Yep.
Tell your people or that person, it might be uncomfortable, rather expect it to be uncomfortable and weird. But when you see that glimmer of greatness, amazingness, whatever, it's that one thing that you hope they never lose or change, tell them. Tell them about it. The thing when Jen, that first call, the reason that the thing that instigated the call and the reason I called her was because, of course, she has energy. That's not why, right? She's engaging. She has a commanding presence. That wasn't what it was, because I know a lot of people that got that shit. It was we were on a few calls where the majority of the people that were on that call were clamoring for time and talking over each other and repeating and one-upping. And she just rolled with it. And then when it was appropriate, she dropped the freaking bomb in the room that had massive impact. And so what I saw was like, okay, that's a different level of thing that very few people have. And so I had to tell her and say, hey, this is why I want to do this thing with you, because you're human-centered, but it was this thing right here that is, I don't know if you know it, is immensely powerful. And you don't do it with bitterness. You don't do it with resentment. You just did it, and it was phenomenal. Yes, you're welcome, Jen. And so that's what, number one, point at what you see and tell them what it is. Because that's a different, how many people had told you that before, Jen?
Nobody.
Nope. And so now, like, this is kind of cheaty, but for real, since I'm the only damn fool that's ever pointed that out, you're like, oh, that, man, I want more of that, right? You could elicit that thing. The other that Jen was kind of touching on, and with the backstory of No BS with Jen and Jess and the 5S in relationship, is help your people find you. What do you think, Jen?
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
Right?
it's the visibility a little bit, but it's also like if they're hurting and they're in these dark places, like, what are you doing to help create that connection? How are you showing up?
Yes. Help. This way, and this is kind of my whole marketing strategy. Let all them people out there know that, hey, if you like this flavor of crazy, I'm here, right? And so whatever that looks like, whatever your comfort level is, obviously I leverage social media so that people understand, like, this is what you're going to get, like this. And if you like this, come on. And if you don't, awesome. There's other people, other stuff to go to. But I think it's the same thing in terms of community. You know, going back to like my sobriety, one of the core principles or things with the 12-step program is attraction over promotion, right? Their focus is on attraction over promotion. And this is going to Daddy Hoots' comment. How do we grow a community and keep the human touch? What happens when the community becomes too large to touch each person? So I'm going to peel that. Rather, Jen, may I attack this question?
You can. Can I just make one comment on what you said, because I just don't want to lose it, and I think that's an important conversation. You said the one big thing is to say it, yep. Right? I want to also add, we also need to call it out. Mm-hmm. So not just say it, because Jesse, you do this amazing thing, and I want you to know because I see it. Also, it is our obligation and responsibility to call something out if it's not right.
Oh, yes.
And that to me also builds community, whether it's me going, Jesse, that was a little, I'm not sure that was, our flavor or what we kind of represent, or I see something, and because of what I stand on and because of the things that are important to me, like, hey, that's not okay. Because if I don't, I'm complicit. And I know we don't like to say that or hear that, because it's like, but I wasn't there and I'm not responsible and I don't have influence and I don't have control and that's somebody else's choice. Absolutely. All those things are true. But we are also in positions to where we just say something, we point something out, we call something out, and it doesn't have to be nasty. It can just be like, hey, that was a little off. It makes people think about something. It maybe makes them make a different choice. And then people see us and they hear us doing that. Yep. And then they go, oh, like, that person isn't okay with that. And then it again starts creating some of those connections, even if it's not a face-to-face, I see you. They're like, ooh, that person is not doing what everyone else is doing.
Yes. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful addition, Jen. And just like Alan said, Jen.
I love Alan. Alan, you are my favorite. I love you. Don't tell Jesse.
He was having so much fun yesterday with you cursing on the call. It was awesome.
Jesse, you're not supposed to say that. That's a different call.
My bad. We'll edit that out. So I want to go back to where I was on the AA, the attraction over promotion. So the AA thing, and folks, if you're just jumping in, drop your comment, leave a blue heart. If this is your first time, if you've been a long time lurker, drop a blue heart so we can swarm you and bring you into the community,
Yes.
but also so we get some love and know that you're out there. But Adam asked, how do we grow community and keep the human touch? I think there's two separate questions. Rather, I'm going to totally split these questions. And back to the idea of attraction over promotion. We have been gifted, Jen, with this community, with the No BS Tribe community. And all we do, we can go back, Steve, I know you remember this, the SRRR cycle, right? Mm-hmm. Show up, receive, reflect, reciprocate. You and I show up every Saturday, every other Saturday for 4 freaking years now, which officially is longer than all of my marriages, past marriages, right? But
maybe because I only have to deal with you like every so often. I don't have to deal with you every day. Maybe that's why I'm still here.
Yeah. But we show up, right? So how do we grow a community? You got to show up, right? And there have been times where we didn't have a lot of people show up. There weren't a lot of comments, like all of those things. We continue to show up. Sure, we create an event and we send invites to people, but we're not like promote, come on, the community, you got to, like all the whiz-bangy stuff. We just keep showing up. Mm-hmm. And then the people show up. So for me, again, how do you quietly build your community? Keep showing up. Mm-hmm. Back to the question. And keep a human touch. Keep showing up. Because the people that are available and willing will be attracted, and they'll make time as necessary as possible, and it'll continue to grow. Now, what that requires is an adjustment in expectations. Because there's a lot of people, I've had so many, maybe you've had these conversations too, Jen. It's like, man, y'all been doing this for 4 years. It's a lot of work. Like, what's the ROI? Have you had that conversation, Jen?
I have. Like, what's the benefit? How much money? How many connections? What new clients? All the stuff. Yes.
Yeah. And so, what do you think? What is your response to that?
Well, mine's easy. It's if I've impacted one person to do something different, treat somebody different, show up differently, then I've completely won. And I feel like we've impacted more than one person.
100%. And so same, right? Back to Adam's question. How do we grow community and keep the human touch? For me, it's exactly that. Sure, there's a lot of buttons we could push to make this grow and have a bazillion followers and all the bullshit. But that's not the goal.
No. And I think that's important, Jesse. It's understanding the goal. And you and I, we had a conversation yesterday in Emotional Bungee Jumpers, a different group, but one of my questions to a problem was, what's the end game?
Yes.
And it wasn't like putting them off. It's just, they're so caught up in the middle of something. Like, what am I trying to accomplish? If it is clients, relationship, revenue, like, that's okay. Let that be what drives your decisions. If it's not that, but you're caught up in something, focused on that, then you're moving in the wrong direction.
Yes, it's misalignment, and it gets super messy in our head and our heart, which is exactly the answer to Adam Hoots. And folks, if y'all don't know, Adam Hoots is a driver of the Old Dog community. Yep. Which it just boom, right? Mm-hmm. It was an idea. We had a few calls. It didn't happen overnight. It's grown substantially, right? Like I would say exponentially within, I don't know how, I'm guessing it's within the past 12 months. I don't, like when he started kind of really, really
amping it up, right?
Since he made a decision that I want to build the Old Dog community. Yep. Like it was already bubbling. And then he said, I want to build the Old Dog community. Yep. And so I think, Jen, what you just said about the goals and stuff is the answer to the second question that he has here. What happens when the community becomes too large to touch each person? What's the intended outcome, right? Like I promise, I 100% believe if I build a community as fast and define that in terms of head count, and my goal is to have a big, giant, large head count, I am absolutely going to lose touch with people. And the connection is going to, let's go back to emotional bungee jumpers. I know, because I've been counting it, and over the few years that we've been doing it, 15 is like the limit per cohort.
Yep.
Because once it gets past that, the questions, the comments, the interaction, the amount of time we have to talk and discuss things gets tightened up.
Mhm.
And so connection becomes diluted. And so what does that mean? That needs to be a separate community, separate cohort, separate effort. And back to Adam's question, what happens when it becomes too large to touch each person? I think it's more a question, or maybe the appropriate answer. Number one is what's the goal? Number two is what's the right pace of growth? And if your goal is monetization and fame and all this other fun shit, then you're going to have super, super rapid growth because that's the goal. And you're going to have weak sauce connection. But if your goal is to impact somebody else, the growth is going to be slow. So I got to manage my ego, my wants, and my desires. And even if it grows to 500, 10,000, because it's grown slowly, everybody has an understanding of the ethos and the experience that we're focused on. The connection is there. I just may not have that connection, but they're going to have that connection from another human being that's directly or closer to them. What do you think, Jen?
Well, it's two things, and one of them just went my mind, but it'll be there by the time I get back. So for me, it's accessibility, number one, and defining touch. Because I think we a lot of times get caught up in, well, I can't be in person with you. So like, what is touch? Like, how do we, we want to stay in touch and still touch the people around us. What does touch look like? And for me, it's, what are those spaces you're creating? But it starts with accessibility. And I think we lose sight of that sometimes on when things get big, when things grow. And I mean, we're saying this because in our community, so that I don't think we're going to get blown up, but like anybody, good intentions or not, anybody has access to Jesse and I. I mean, anybody, like they can go on LinkedIn, they can comment on our stuff, they can send us a private message. Like anybody has access to us. So some of those people will come in and we'll get connected. And then so to me, accessibility is huge because I have a story and I don't think it was intentional, but I have people that I've been connected with for 10 years and they are people that are dear to my heart. And it's whether it's work or whatever. And I also have someone, if you don't know her yet, Rachel, that pretty much helps my life run and that I'm not completely just in hysteria, chaos all the time. So she literally handles things to help my life run better and does an amazing job of it, especially this week. And there's someone that I was texting, email, like that was a person that's been in this connection with me for a long time. And I needed something communicated. And I asked Rachel, hey, can you just let this person know that? And he reached out to me and he's like, Jennifer, don't do that. He said, I know you're just doing your rinse and repeat right now because you're trying to get some stuff done. I need you to be the person to connect with me. Don't put it on Rachel. And again, she's great, but right. Like what we have isn't like put that off on somebody else and make that and give it to someone. And again, it was a call out to me, just like I said, well, I go call things out. It was a call out like, Jennifer, come on. Like what were you thinking? Because to me, that breaks connection.
Yes.
As soon as I start having somebody else handle something for me for somebody that I already have a connection with, I'm breaking connection. So, and I know we get busy, but like make the effort for the people that you already know are there and you have connections with. Like, don't make it be like, don't take it for granted. Like understand that if they're there, it's there because you've made the connection with them and continue to do that and show up and call things out and don't like, okay, now it's there. I've established it. And I think, I just wanted to add that because to me, that goes to Adam's question is like, once it's established, how you continue it is you continue making the connection. You don't go, oh, it's there now. I'm good now. I've got the tribe now. I've got this group. Now I can let that ride and I can go do something else. Like you've got to stay connected. Yeah,
100%. I think there's a lot there. We've got some great comments. And Brian says, each of you are very good at being, thank you for calling that out, Brian, right? Being approachable. People know they can get our time and attention. Nobody's a bother. Nobody's turned away. Like, and it takes intention, focus to do that, Brian. And I know you know that, Brian. Like it's not flim flammy shit. Like for real, it's like, okay, I need to focus. I need to put my phone down. I need to connect with this person in front of me. Adam says, bingo, you nailed it. Thank you. Super helpful. I'm getting worried with the number of old dogs signing up. Good. Like that's a good thing.
Yeah.
We got another question that I'm going to bring up, like one of our pre-populated questions, but I want to check in on Alan. I'm not sure if he's asking this question to this call or if he's asking it to Nathan and Katie. I know my answer. I don't know. Like that it depends. And I'll also add that I think when I'm thinking of community, or rather, I want to be clear for folks out there, I'm not talking about building an online community for monetization. I'm talking about building a community of people that I want to contribute to their path and are invited to speak into my life. That is what I'm talking about. They're two very separate things, because building an online community, there is a different way I would approach that, 100%. I would not be as invested. I would be designing a system that could scale at a rapid pace with very little contact from me. That is not the same thing as what I'm talking about now. That is not the same thing that is going to enhance the quality of life that I'm experiencing or create a path for me to really, really share my unique gifts, skills, and talents to other human beings. It is going to provide a service. It is going to be transactional, and it's going to grow as fast as I can freaking make it grow. And they're two different mindsets. And I think, and we talked about this yesterday on the call, there's personal value, social value, and business value. I need to decide on wherever I'm focusing my effort, what the hell am I focused on delivering? When I'm focused on delivering business value, I'm worried about scalability and I'm worried about handoffs and processes and all that bullshit. Important stuff, right? People pay me to help them with that. But when I'm thinking about social and personal value, there is no, that scaling thinking has no business in there. Using your example, Jen, right? Because I know that if I have an assistant, I can get an assistant to reply to all the message DMs, to text, to email, to do my phone calls and all of that. And that would be super, super efficient, super optimized. I would be productive, but I would lose the connection with people. That's not to say that I don't have an assistant and she's not responsive, like she is, but there's a clear delineation in my head between where that those actions are appropriate. And so one more time, when I'm talking about community right now, folks out there, No BS Tribe in the Omniverse, I'm talking about, maybe think of it this way. I'm talking about the caldo, the soup, the medicine that I make that keeps me alive and keeps me growing. What do you think, Jen?
No, and I 100%. And I want to sum up what you said and how it translated into my brain.
Okay.
The answer to what's the right pace of growth organically.
Ooh.
To me, that's when I see that, and I'm using it for this community because our big plan was, let's start with one and see what happens. Jesse, I'm going to ask you, what's the goal? What's our end game for No BS Tribe so that we can say we've done it? What's the end game? What's the number?
Help one person.
So it's because the things we do, and I can even translate this to business in my job, in my role, in my company, it's organically trying to grow something, organically trying to start with something small and then let it spread and let people get on fire, let people get excited, and then other people get pulled in. And like you said, the buckets, yes. And it's also able to do things organically in those other buckets. And I think we lose sight of, that's that stuff. But this is like KPIs and SOPs and all the things. You can still do it organically. Start with something where you got people on fire and so excited about something inside your company. Get them, elevate them, shine a light on them, start seeing what's happening there. And then it's like, I hate to say it, it's like the buzzer outside where all the flies come to. It's like, but we're not trying to zap you. But it's that kind of stuff. Like, what are you doing? I'm trying to get this. I'm trying to implement this. I can't get buy-in. find the people that are there and that are showing up and that are so excited, and then just feed into them. And then it will slowly, and slow growth is okay. It's usually more sustainable when you're doing it slowly, just so you know. But then you're getting the right people in the right seats on the bus. I mean, we talk about that all the time.
Yes, 100%. And I'm going to add, all you need is one.
Yes.
Maybe it's not an addition. We've talked about that, right? And the one is you.
Yeah.
Right? It starts with you. Where is it? Like Steve Martin said, make it exist, right? Put it out into the world so other people can see it. And if they come, like, it's going to be slow, be patient, and you'll get there. And I'm also going to add, it is very likely that you already have a little community about whatever the thing is. You just can't see it. You just don't know. And so this question is intended to help us help.
Okay, don't put it up yet, because I want to say one more thing, because Alan is like he's the guy that is just grabbing things and putting them in the comments. So if you have not seen the Dancing Man video, Alan will probably grab it and put it in there from YouTube. Go look it up. Go look at it. It's exactly what we're talking about.
Yes. It is. You got to go out there. You got to make it happen. When you believe in it, does it really matter how many people believe? I mean, for me, it doesn't. If I remember the very first group, like I was on the program at a conference, the very first time my name was on a program at a conference, and I had a room with like 80 seats, whatever, and I was stoked. I went in there. It was on the last day. It was after lunch, and right after lunch, we had one session. It was the end of the conference. That's never the place to be. That's a tough spot. And one person, well, it was one family, right? Mother, father, and the kids came in, and that was it. And I had somebody very close to me in my life who was there that was like disgusted by it. I can't believe all the work you put into this and all the effort. They don't even care. Nobody, right? I say, but there's one, right? Yes. But there's one. And so what that ended up being, and maybe this is something for people to really anchor on. I know Alan made the comment earlier about the one starfish. I can't save everybody. And like, for real, I can't serve everybody, even if I wanted to. I just don't have the capability. But I can help one person. And when we start stuff, when you start the thing, the community, the idea that you want to go, expect one. And what that creates is the conditions to have an ultra deep and meaningful experience. Because yes, I wanted the room to be full. But we had one family show up, and man, we like the slides were like, whatever, let's talk about your very specific thing, what y'all are dealing with, and some things that you can start, like, that are customized to you, which was amazing. And now fast forward, I was on a couple of stages this week, and there was more than one freaking person there. So back to the idea that maybe, like, folks out there, if you're thinking like, yeah, but I don't have a community, I bet you do. And so one of the indicators, think about this and answer the question: who has quietly influenced or supported you in a way that shaped your community or career? And maybe think of it in terms of like, who has quietly influenced or supported you in a way that shaped your thinking and shaped the way you show up? Because I promise you, that person or those people recognize you as part of their community. So, Jen, do you have an answer for this?
I do, but we have so many people saying things about that are feeding into the conversation. I don't want to switch the topic. I want to answer this. It's very important to me. But can we talk about James Gable and his comment, and then just can we pull up some of those, because they're just making me so happy right now.
So James says, y'all are nonstop, the uncommon communicator. My community and my heart was grown 3 sizes this week.
I ran into him. And again, I've done 2 podcasts with James which was awesome. And we've connected. He's in a lot of different places that I'm at. And one night this week, I was across the street with my people, and Adam Hoots was there and all that. And I walk up, and James just gets up and he's like, I get to see you in person. And we got to hug. And it was that I didn't make the connection right then. Physically, we got to hug for the first time ever. But I didn't make the connection right then. Like the community and the things we've been able to do, we can do it across the screens. We can do it without having to be in person. And then when it's in person, does it not just explode?
It's like we get to start off at a sprint. We're not stretching and warming up anymore. Let's just freaking go and build some real meaningful memories. And I'll always say, like, people are like, you can't really connect virtually. Like, bullshit. I know you can. And that's evidence. And so Steve says, the lean Grinch heart grew 3 times. Alan, of course, fierce supporter. So the link to the Dancing Man video is in the chat. Alan just shared it. And then Mr. Denver Waters, who I got to meet for the second time, says, I remember Dancing Man from last year, LCI 24. Grateful for we bring to the community we share. His cup is full. Like this week was like exactly overflowing, right? With all of the people, all the conversation. Oh, look, we got a shout out. Jim's answer is the No BS tribe. All right, so we're gonna go back to the question, Jen.
Okay.
Who is quietly yes, go.
Okay, so Jesse and I talked about, because we usually touch on these questions before we get on today, and this one is an easy answer. It's hard to talk about, if that makes sense. So for me, and I didn't even know the answer until after I kind of was influencing and out there doing a lot of really big things inside my company. The growth and the impact I was able to have inside my company. And then also the stuff Jesse and I've done and all the other things that I touch is there is no way at all I would be a glimmer of what I've been able to do without the people at home allowing me to do it. And I want to dig into that a little bit. Is I think sometimes it can be a negative. It can be oh my gosh, I can't, it's the negative things of if this wasn't doing this, I could then do this. Like sometimes we look at it as something that's holding us back or something that, it's not allowing us to be what we could be. And for me, I'm going to have to own it, is I just went because I saw it and I wanted it. And didn't realize till after it was where, bigger than what I expected, that some of the people at home got hurt by that or had to take a back seat by that. But the moment that I realized that I would have none of those things if I couldn't just get on an airplane and go somewhere, or if I couldn't get on a live stream and have to have somebody take somebody to practice and things like that, like the person at home that allows you to be able to do those things is so important and so instrumental, yet they get forgotten because they may not be the ones up there with you. They may not be, on that journey all the time with you, but then you have to go home. You have to go home and they get to hear about the cool things. And even when I started acknowledging, like, I want to thank you because there's no way I'd be where I am in my career without you. There's no way I'd be able to do this without you. As soon as I made that statement, then the conversations at home began like, how was the week? And I'm so proud of you. And we didn't have those conversations before because I didn't even acknowledge their part in it.
Yeah.
And I think we forget that. And then there's resentment. And then there's things that feed into things that limit what we can do outside.
Yes. Amazing. And I'm going to take the other side of that, not in disagreement, in complete support of what you just said, right? There are people in our space that support quietly, like if it weren't for them, you ain't having the awesome sauce that you're having.
Right.
And there are people in your life that are in the way of you having the impact and influence that you can. And like another part B, if you look around the people that you're with and you don't like them, and you're not proud of them, you're not proud to be seen with them, be around, like if you've got that situation, and again, I know, I mean, I've been in jobs where I'm like, this sucks, right? I've been in relationships where like, oh my God, like you're great when the lights are off, but when the lights are on and other people are around, I really wish you weren't here. Like now, the reason I'm sharing that is it's not them, because who picked them?
Yep.
I did. My job, the people, the teams, the company, and this one's a little bit harder, but I picked that job. And when I'm surrounded by frumpy, whiny, gripey, deceitful, resentful people, I have chosen the life that I'm living. I have designed my life to attract that and swim in it. And what that means is I can choose to redesign my life so that I can have people that will support me in sharing my gifts and talents, so that I'm surrounded with people that are contributing into the world. They're giving more than they're taking. It is a matter of choice, and it is a matter of design. And so I know, because I know some people are like, well, yeah, Jess, it's great for you because you're like, no, I've been there. And the one single thing that helped me switch it to flip it was I decided to take ownership of what it was and make different decisions and start designing my life so that I can live and experience the degree of fulfillment that I'm experiencing now. It didn't happen by accident. It didn't happen because I started live streaming. It's been a freaking journey of 20 plus years, half of those being sober. Like it's been a lot of things that I had to change my behaviors, my picker. When I say picker, I mean my selection criterion of the people that I surround myself with, the people that I invest in or give time to. It has taken a significant effort to make that happen. So maybe I'm going to muddy the water up a little bit, and then we're going to do the randomizer. But I want to muddy the water up is we're talking about building your community. What I want people to do on the out there in the Omniverse is really, really look, like do an assessment. Everybody that you share time with is your community right now. You already freaking have one. Are you proud of it? Do you love it? If not, you got to take some action, man. You got to take some action. And if you are, you're going to say, oh shit, like look at every, do it louder. Do it on purpose. Whatever you did, do it louder and do it on purpose. Is that, do you think that would be helpful?
Well, you said it. It's by design. Like whether it's good or bad, it's by design. Like, and you're the one that's drawing it. You're the one that's making the decisions. You're the one that is whatever's in front of you. And there was there was something this week that it was a presentation, and the person said, 10 years ago in my career, it was so impactful. 10 years ago in my career, a friend of mine gave me this, and it was a compact mirror. Like, I mean, this is a big construction guy. A friend of mine gave me this mirror, and I keep it in my bag still. And he said, when things get tough, when things get wrong, when things are going sideways, pull the mirror out, look at it, and ask and think about, how did I contribute to this? What am I doing that is impacting what's in front of me? I probably messed it up, but it's close to that. But he said, I still carry it because it's like, I have to look and go, how did I contribute to what's happening right now? And it goes very aligned with what you just said, by design. Like if I'm in a room and I'm just like, we're just commiserating and we're just, the world is sucking and this person's like, whatever, like I'm in that room for a reason. Like I made the choice to be in that room. It's by design. So how are you designing what you want, where you want to be? And if you're in that room, you're choosing it.
Yes. And many of my people out there know me. When I leave, it's because I need to leave. There's an energy or something around there that like, I'm not getting anything. I ain't gonna contribute. I gotta go. It ain't because I hate you. I still love you. It's just whatever's happening here ain't my flavor. Period. And because if I stay there, I know what happens to me. And again, it's a choice. It is by design. So
okay, real quick. I know you got to go. I know you got to do randomizer real quick. And well, I just want to make a comment on what you just said. But I know Jesse so well. Like I know, like he comes in, he and then like he's gone because some of that stuff. He doesn't want to be there too long, and he gets whatever. So I know that. And so this week it was cool because it was way later than I thought he was going to be somewhere. And I found him in a corner with a bunch of people talking, and he was just, and I'm over there and I'm like, Jesse, like, you're still here. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, I know, like I would expect you have been gone like an hour ago. And he's just sitting there and he's got people around him. And he's like, well, no, I'm good. Like, and so like, what made you stay there way longer than I think I would have even bet that you would have been there?
Yeah. So no, that's exactly it. Is that conversation we were having, here's what it was. I was privileged to sit at a table with three very influential, forward-thinking leaders, like that are decision makers for their firm, for their company, who also are old dog members, right? And what the conversation was, how can we better serve our people? We have these things, we have these processes, we have these things, but it's kind of sticky and it's kind of like, and so that was kind of the question. It wasn't what's the silver bullet, what's the process? And of course, you know me, I'm gonna say, okay, well, how are you thinking about it? Like, not what's the process in the SOP, how are you thinking about it? And they were open to that conversation. And so that's what kept me there. We were having a real conversation, not about the right way to do it and how to put consequences in place. Because if you're at that level in leading an organization, you should freaking know that already, bro. Like, come on. It was more about how do we do it in such a way that it provides personal value to the human beings that we want them to do it, that it builds that social value where people understand and start advocating it and sharing and spreading. And of course, provides business value. That's why I was there, because it is those conversations that I'll stay up all night having. We weren't talking about the freaking football game. We weren't talking about the lunch or the amazing freaking dessert that was at Congress. We're talking about real human shit. Mm-hmm. And those conversations I will be there for. And I'll also add another element. It was not like, because you can have those conversations, but a lot of times there's the ambushers that people do. Oh, and look at, I mean, it was a group of like 4 or 5 of us. It was very respectful, where everybody was letting everyone complete their thought and like fully articulate what they had on their heart. That environment, bro, you got me there all night. Does that help?
Yes, absolutely. Again, it was knowing you. Again, I know you because you're in my circle, and I was just like, Jesse, you're still here. Like, what's going on?
I remember like, oh shit, it's late. Yeah, totally. Because normally I'm like, okay, 2 more minutes and I gotta go. All right, it is time for the randomizer. Let's see who's gonna get it. Okay, here we go. Randomizer. Look at all those handsome faces.
I know, right?
Oh, Abbas. Abbas, I think he's won it before, or he's won one of the randomizers. Congratulations, my friend. You already know the deal. I'll get the information to you somehow, so you can come hang out with the emotional bungee jumpers and the cultivation crew. Yes. We got 7 minutes. Jen, would you mind sharing your like closing thought or takeaway while I do my best to share the after party link on all the stuff?
Yes. So I'll hit the after party while Jesse's doing it. Is every Saturday morning that we talk, we also, because Jesse and I have a lot of air time up here. And so we do an after party, which is a link that Jesse's sharing in all the spaces right now. It's a Google Meets. You don't have to turn your camera on, but it's really an opportunity for us to hear you talk. because we like to hear what you have to say, mainly based on these conversations that we had on the live stream. And so he'll put them on all the different platforms, but please join us if you can. Even if you can't for the whole time, we'd love to hear from you. And I want to tell, I want to tell a cheat code, because you told the story about like just one person showed up and how important that was. And just, again, that gives us the opportunity to just have the conversation. And if you have one other person, so a cheat code that we didn't really know about it is, because it's Jesse and I, we always have at least one person to listen to us. So we've created this environment to where if it's just Jesse and I with not one comment over there, we're still showing up and being able to talk about the things that are important and being able to feed off each other to then put it out there. Because every time we push that in button, all of these are out there for everyone to go watch later and, and engage with. So a cheat code is just find at least one person that'll keep showing up with you.
Yeah, 100%. And again, like, I think it's easy to get distracted on like numbers, especially now with, social media and how easy it is to like just connect with people and create a lot of noise and all of that. But it just takes one person, right? And we all have contact with one person. And back to the idea of attraction over promotion, you can spend a lot of time. Well, maybe it kind of ties back to Mr. Adam Hoots' question earlier. I have.
Go ahead. You're good.
I have X amount of energy. I have decided to view my energy in my life this way. I have a finite amount of energy every day, period. And if I got to be decisive about where I'm going to apply that energy. So if I'm going to apply it on scaling and attracting and getting a bunch of people, guess what that means? That means I'm going to have less energy for connection. And so it really is a decision. Where do I want to spend my energy? What's the goal? What's the intended outcome? And I'm going to focus my effort there. I believe, and I think the No BS tribe is proof of that, if we focus on service and connection, the volume takes care of itself. If you focus on volume in terms of number of people, head count, and all that other stuff, I don't know, because I've never done that, but my assumption is that you're going to be sacrificing connection. Neither are wrong, but you need to know what the hell you're trying to accomplish.
Yes. So will you bring Alan's comment up? Because I that's going to be part of my final thought, I think, today, is boundaries are not about forcing others to do what you want them to do. Boundaries are about your willingness to walk away when an environment no longer serves you and aligns with your needs. So thank you, Alan, for putting that quote up there. So my final thought, and I think about boundaries a lot because you and we do a lot of things. So silly. You and I do a lot of things, and I think about boundaries. And so I want y'all to think about this with the people that are around you. Are they walking in casually with smiles on their face, or are you pulling them in and having to fight to get them there? Just think about that in the spaces you're in, because there's people that know me that if I'm in a room or I'm somewhere and you're like across the 10 tables over and I see you with my eyes, I will literally run over to you and give you a big hug. Like, that's just what I do. I'm not going, oh my gosh, I'm pulling people into my circle. It's people are coming in with smiles and they're coming in on their own so that I get to spend time with them. Those are the people that you want to surround yourself in your community, not the ones that come on, you should be here. This is our mission. You fit right in. Like, those kind of things are like, we get so caught up on, you would fit into this. You're the person that this was created for. Then put it out there and let them figure it out and let them walk in. But Don't force them.
10-4. And I'm going to kind of echo what Brian says here, right? Is I choose it. he's taking ownership, making better choices, or make better choices, Brian. Those are the kind of people I want in my community, right? I want people that are going to be introspective, self-reflect, and elevate or take ownership of the crap.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? When I'm not taking ownership of stuff, and I'm not being, I'm a blamer and I'm a victim, and it's everybody else's fault and everybody's against me. Guess what? That attracts. It attracts those people.
Yes.
And so your community, the people around you right now, are a reflection of your behavior, your thinking, your mode of operation. And so again, you can make a decision, you can design it, but if it's still foggy, I want some action things, right? Call out what you see, the things that you appreciate in people, the amazing things that they're doing, not just because it's going to help you build community, but it's going to be healing for them. Because I promise you, I am not the only human being in the world that only sees the most amazing parts of me through the eyes of other people. And so we owe it to them, A. B, do it out loud. Celebrate your people, advocate for your people, let them know and let other people know about them when you believe in them. And that's kind of an accountability thing. Mm-hmm. Because if you think they're scrubs, it's going to be very difficult to advocate for them. Mm-hmm. And then the next question is, why are you hanging out with scrubs? So we got the after party coming, folks. I hope y'all are going to be in there. I'll be super distracted because I got to finish packing and take my behind to the airport because I got to go home. But Jen, are you ready to cue the music for the TikTok dance?
Yes, go, Jesse. I'm ready.